Ranelagh Primary School in East London has 47 staff, 425 pupils and a pressing need to save money. It's so important that there's even a school assembly all about budgeting and saving money.
Now, we're in a very old building and it takes a lot of looking after. As you know, we've had a few plumbing issues just lately. Do you know that we actually pay for every drop of water that we use? We've got a meter. And I came round the classes and I saw children washing paintbrushes under a running tap. And every drop of water that came out of that tap, we're paying for. Do you know?
This assembly is a necessary exercise at the moment because the school, through no fault of the management team, has a deficit of £180,000. The result of anticipated funds that didn't come in. I've brought DCSF procurement expert Claire Dix to the school to see if she can help the team at Ranelagh make a dent in the deficit and maybe even realise one of their dream projects. The savings Claire eventually found astonished not just business manager Zena Smart,
And I'm gobsmacked that we can do that.
but head teacher Angela Tapscott. Angela and Zena have a 3-year recovery plan in place to pay off the deficit, but it's not a done deal.
It will be quite quite an undertaking. The first year, this year, we're intending to save the most. We've applied for as many bids as we could this year and we've asked for other sources of income. We've applied for lottery funding.
And everyone at the school is helping out.
Might be good for you. Grow strong. We think.
When people are sick at the moment, we're covering each other rather than getting supply staff in.
Any sales reps that come to see me, I don't do business unless we get a good deal and a good discount. And of course Angela has rules where if you purchase something and you don't do it through the system, then actually you're made to pay for it yourself.
And definitely nothing on approval, because if things come on approval and people forget to send them back, we get stung with a bill.
Over 3 years, Angela and Zena are hoping they can save £80,000 on supply staff, £33,000 on Zena's deals, leaving £67,000 still to find.
So any savings that we'll be able to identify will be gratefully received?
Absolutely, because it means we can get back to normal as soon as possible.
Zena takes us round the school to see what opportunities there may be for further savings. An issue that emerges is the local authority contracts. One of these is for payroll. And has that contract been with the local authority for a long time?
Always, ever since money was devolved down to schools, we've just not changed it.
And how much does that cost?
That's £34,000 a year.
Is that just for pay slips? Or?
Mainly for the pay slips. There's just a little bit of HR on top of that.
Yeah, and are you happy with the service?
Quite happy with it, yeah. We get a lot of advice and there's never been a problem with the pay slips.
And how long is the contract for?
They run every 2 years.
So your HR is extra. How much do you pay for that?
Yes, it's £10,500.
Do you have other contracts with your local authority?
Yes, we do. We have the catering contract, the cleaning contract.
Ranelagh isn't out of pocket with the catering, but cleaning is a different matter. The school is a handsome 100-year-old building and takes a lot of cleaning.
This is our top hall.
It's a really beautiful building, gorgeous room and a lovely parquet floor, absolutely immaculate gleaming. How much is your cleaning contract here?
In the region of £46,000.
It's quite a big expense.
Yeah, it is. I actually think that if we did something else, either go to an outside contract or take it on ourselves, I think we'd save a lot of money.
I mean, you could eat your food off the floor. It is immaculate, so they obviously do a good job.
The cleaners that we've got are absolutely superb. The actual group of people that are working here are really, really on board and they take pride in their
work, yes. But there are some issues.
Does the service provider provide all the equipment and maintain it?
Yeah, they do, but we've had to supplement that because our cleaners have asked for extra equipment which isn't provided in the agreement, so we've actually bought some equipment ourselves.
Does your service provider manage this contract very closely? Are they sort of on hand all the time for
They're
you?
not. They're at the end of a phone, and they will come down if we ask them to. But there's a delay in doing that. So quite often, myself, the caretaker, and the cleaners work it out for ourselves, and we resolve problems there and then. It's immediate. You don't want to wait for someone to come down and deal with it.
In fact, Zena is doing a good deal of the management herself. Either she or the site supervisor has a daily meeting in the staff room with the cleaners.
Are there any problems?
No, but I'm going to use our new machine tomorrow.
Oh, you've got your new machine delivered.
Yes, I'm going to try it. And
Is
you'd
that
like
okay?
her to do the floor?
Yes, it'll be particularly sticky because of the Christmas party.
So you feel you're managing it yourself,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
And you're managing it yourself, but do you pay a management fee in the
Yes.
contract?
Oh, have we got the supply lady coming in today?
No, she's not coming in till 3.
Yeah, well, that's the normal time, so that's fine. If she doesn't get in by 3:10, then let me know and we'll organise something else.
And children, what do you see? Sometimes Zena ends up doing the hoovering herself.
It's not fair on the teachers to come in the next day and find their room dirty. So I'll stay late and do it.
So are these local authority contracts really offering value for money? It's all too easy to inherit them and leave them in place without further thought.
Have Zena and Angela ever considered alternative providers?
Where the service is good, we tend to just keep buying into them because we know the supplier can be reliable and it's actually easier in lots of respects. We have looked at those contracts, but they've tended to be the ones we plan to change last because it's actually quite a big move breaking away from the local authority.
Well, what's your first reaction, Claire?
I think we'll probably have a look at some of the local authority provisions. The head's already mentioned that she thinks it's quite expensive.
OK. While we go and do some research, here's our cautionary tale.
A school decided to install a hot drinks vending machine. The governors settled on a price of 25p per hot drink. The price wasn't reviewed until 2 years later, when a new finance manager was appointed. Thinking that 25p sounded cheap, he did some calculations and was shocked to find that each hot drink was actually costing the school 30p. Over 2 years, the school had lost about £1,000 on the vending machine. Had each drink been priced at 35p, the school could have made £1,000 profit. You can get an income from vending machines, so make sure you get those figures right. At Ranelagh Primary School, Zena and Angela have a dream project if they can crack the deficit.
Once we've paid for the recovery and we've paid off the deficit, this is really what we'd like to do, have a library in this space.
Will Angela and Zena be able to create a library in the courtyard? Claire's been doing some digging and she's found some significant savings. First of all, cleaning. If Zena brought the cleaning in-house, Claire's calculations, based on the number of cleaners and the hours they work per year, show that the school could save over 20% on its cleaning bill.
There's only one issue. Zena would need to take into account the regulations that govern the rights of employees when their employment transfers to another company. But that shouldn't prove an obstacle.
Payroll is the big surprise. Zena's payroll contract includes services she's not making use of, and she's paying over £700 per staff member per year.
After a benchmarking exercise, Claire found another provider which works with schools all over the country and which offers a standard payroll service, issuing payslips and managing the transfer of funds with basic payroll advice.
This costs around £80 per staff member per year, a saving of nearly 90%.
If Angela and Zena decide to change providers, they'll have to follow the approved contract regulations, issuing a revised specification and putting it out to tender to 3 companies, including the local authority.
And how much would it cost to build the library?
Just for the shell, we're looking at 20,000, and then after that, you've got to do something with the walls, the floor, heating, and of course, books and furniture.
Claire's savings would not only pay off a good chunk of the deficit, but would also get the library project underway.
Before we reveal these savings to Zena and Angela, here's our top tip.
I use the Children's Scrap Project a lot. I found it a fantastic resource, not just for the art and design work we do in the classroom, but right through the curriculum. It's quite inspirational. A lot of the materials they have there give me ideas for what we can do in the classroom.
There are scrap projects all over the country. Aladdin's caves of pencils, buttons, fabric, ribbon, paper, card, all offcuts donated by companies. Schools pay an annual membership fee and a small amount per child, which entitles them to collect materials as often as they want.
One of the first times that I went there, they had a wonderful array of ceramic tiles, and they gave me the inspiration for Arts Week for children to make little decorative hands. That was a fantastic find. I decided to make a huge sculpture in the classroom to really engage the boys in the class with our literacy lessons. So we got the large pieces of card from the scrap project, and the smaller pieces, there's little pieces of fabric and tissue. I think the Children's Scrap Project saves the whole school a lot of money. We are talking about thousands, like 2,000 or 3,000 throughout the year.
So check out your local scrap project, make beautiful things and save money. Back to Ranelagh Primary School. It's the moment of truth. We're about to go in and speak to the head and the business manager to tell them about the savings we found. Well, Angela and Zena, I'm sure you'll be delighted to hear that we can make you some significant savings.
The first one is the cleaning, and we're looking at this based on bringing your cleaning in-house, which is pretty much what you're doing at the moment. You're managing this very heavily yourselves anyway.
Mm-hmm. If you were to do that, you would save £10,000.
Okay, that's
quite
really good.
Quite a good sum.
It's rather a lot, yeah.
That's £10,000 a year.
Okay.
Now it gets better. The other area that you can really make some big savings is payroll.
Okay.
Claire.
We've based this on actually looking at another service provider, not actually managing this in-house yourselves. And we've looked at a service provider that also offers this service to schools currently. So this is a bit of a scary thing to do, move your payroll. Yeah. But this is with a provider that's actually done it before. Had you ever considered changing your payroll provider?
No, never. The service we get from our payroll is actually really quite good, and so we'd never actually looked at it as an issue.
Now, believe it or not, the savings that would imply would be £30,000.
Grief. A year. That's huge.
Zena, having just found out that you could save £30,000 on payroll alone, what do you have to say to that?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's going to help with the deficit, and then it's going to help with all the other things that we want to do with the school later, because it's £30,000 every year, isn't it?
Mm. It's quite a shock, isn't it?
It is shocking.
So we're looking at a total saving, based on Claire's calculations, of £40,000
a year.
Well, I seriously thought that with the cleaning that there would only be maybe £2,000 or £3,000 difference. To find out that's 10,000, that was enough. But then to find out that there's a £30,000 difference on personnel, that's way beyond anything we thought we could save. And I thought as a school we were really good at saving money, but I'm gobsmacked that we can do that.
It's certainly a figure that would cover the kind of spend you'd need for your library.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.